In approximately 4.5 billion years, the night sky will begin to change. Slowly at first, a smudge of light already visible tonight as the Andromeda galaxy will grow. Night after night, century after century, it will expand across the sky until it dominates the entire horizon. And then, in an event so large it has no human equivalent, it will collide with us. Not with Earth, not with our solar system, with our entire galaxy. This is not a theory. This is not a prediction with significant uncertainty. This is one of the most well-confirmed future events in all of astronomy. And what happens next is stranger, more violent and more beautiful than almost anything else in the known universe. Let's start with the obvious question. Why is Andromeda heading toward us at all? Most galaxies in the universe are moving away from us. The universe is expanding, and that expansion carries distant galaxies further and further apart over time. But Andromeda is different. Andromeda is moving toward the Milky Way at approximately 110 kilometers per second. That's nearly 400,000 kilometers per hour, and it has been doing so for billions of years. The reason is gravity. Andromeda and the Milky Way are the two largest members of what astronomers call the Local Group, a collection of roughly 54 galaxies bound together by their mutual gravitational attraction. Within this group, gravity dominates over the expansion of the universe. These galaxies are close enough and massive enough that they pull on each other, and in the case of Andromeda and the Milky Way, that pull has been drawing them together since long before Earth existed. There is also a third player that most people don't think about: dark matter. Each galaxy is embedded in a massive halo of dark matter, invisible, undetectable directly, but gravitationally real. These dark matter halos are far larger than the visible galaxies themselves, and they began interacting long before the visible stars and gas clouds get anywhere near each other. In a very real sense, the collision has already started, just in matter we cannot see. Now here's the part that most people get wrong when they imagine two galaxies colliding. They picture it like two solid objects crashing into each other, two disks of stars slamming together, stars exploding into each other, total destruction. That is not what happens. And the reason it isn't comes down to one of the most staggering facts in all of physics. Galaxies are almost entirely empty space. The Milky Way contains somewhere between 200 and 400 billion stars, but the average distance between those stars is about 4 to 5 light years. 4 to 5 light years of empty space between each star in every direction. The odds of any two individual stars actually colliding during this event are astronomically small. Our own sun has virtually zero chance of directly hitting another star. What will actually happen is something far stranger. The two galaxies will pass through each other. Gravity will do the work, not by smashing stars together, but by pulling them off their orbits, distorting their paths, flinging some outward into intergalactic space, and drawing others into entirely new trajectories. The entire structure of both galaxies will be disrupted, reshaped, and eventually merged, and it won't happen once. The current models show that the Milky Way and Andromeda will pass through each other, swing back, pass through again, and oscillate like this several times over the course of a few billion years before finally settling into a single merged structure. Each pass will distort both galaxies further, pulling out long tidal tails of stars into space, triggering massive bursts of star formation as gas clouds collide and compress. What happens to Earth during all of this? The honest answer is that Earth almost certainly won't exist by the time the first pass happens. In about 5 billion years, roughly the same time frame as the collision, our sun will exhaust its hydrogen fuel and expand into a red giant, growing large enough to engulf Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth itself. Long before that, around 1 billion years from now, the sun's increasing luminosity will heat Earth's surface enough to evaporate the oceans and strip the atmosphere, ending any possibility of life here. So, Earth's fate is tied to the sun, not to Andromeda. The collision doesn't kill Earth, the Sun does on roughly the same schedule. But let's say, hypothetically, that a planet in our solar system survives, or that humans by then exist somewhere else, on another world or in a spacecraft. What would the sky look like as the first pass begins? The sky as seen from any surviving world in our solar system would be extraordinary. Andromeda, currently a faint smudge visible to the naked eye, would have grown into a massive structure spanning a significant portion of the sky. Streams of stars would be visible stretching across the night. Bursts of new star formation would light up regions of both galaxies in brilliant blue and white clusters. The night sky, for any observer alive during this period, would be one of the most spectacular views in the history of the universe. Now let's talk about what the collision actually produces, because the end result is not destruction, it is creation. When gas clouds from the two galaxies collide, and unlike stars, gas clouds are large enough and numerous enough that they absolutely will collide, the compression triggers what astronomers call a starburst, a massive rapid burst of new star formation as the shocked gas collapses under its own gravity and ignites millions of new stars in a relatively short period. We can observe this process happening in other colliding galaxies right now. The antennae galaxies, about 45 million light-years away, are currently in the middle of a collision very similar to what Andromeda and the Milky Way will experience, and their starburst regions are producing new stars at a rate far higher than either galaxy did before the collision began. After several billion years of passes and oscillations, the two galaxies will eventually settle. The result will not look like either the Milky Way or Andromeda. Both are spiral galaxies, those elegant, flat, rotating disk structures with distinct arms. The collision will destroy both spiral structures entirely. What emerges will be an elliptical galaxy, a large, roughly egg-shaped cloud of stars with no disk, no arms, and very little active star formation. Most of the gas will have been consumed or expelled, leaving behind a quieter, older, more settled system. Astronomers have already given this future galaxy a name, Milkomeda, or sometimes Milkdromeda. It will contain the combined stars of both galaxies, potentially over 1 trillion stars, along with both supermassive black holes, which brings us to the black holes. At the center of the Milky Way sits a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A star, with a mass of about 4 million times that of our Sun. At the center of Andromeda sits an even larger one, estimated at somewhere between 100 million and 200 million solar masses. When the galaxies merge, these two black holes will not immediately collide. They will first sink toward the center of the newly formed Milkomeda, orbit each other in a tightening spiral over hundreds of millions of years, and eventually merge in an event that will release an almost incomprehensible burst of gravitational waves, ripples in space-time itself, radiating outward at the speed of light across the universe. This black hole merger will be one of the most energetic single events to occur in our region of the universe in billions of years. And yet, to any observer far enough away, it would register only as a brief brightening of the galactic core, followed by stillness. Here is what all of this adds up to. The collision of the Milky Way and Andromeda is not an apocalypse, it is a transformation. Two galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars, each with their own history, their own structure, their own supermassive black hole, merging over billions of years into something new, something larger, something quieter. The stars inside both galaxies will mostly survive, scattered into new orbits in a new structure. Some will be flung into intergalactic space. New stars will be born from the collision of gas clouds. The black holes will merge. And the result, Milkomeda, will drift through the local group as the dominant object in our cosmic neighborhood for billions of years to come. The universe doesn't end things, it rearranges them. And somewhere embedded in all of that, in the trillion stars of a galaxy that no longer has a name we gave it, there may be worlds we never imagined orbiting stars that were born from the collision itself. New planets, new chemistry, new possibilities. We won't be there to see it, but the light from it will travel across the universe regardless, whether or not there are any eyes left to receive it. If this changed how you think about the future of our galaxy, leave a comment. I want to know what part of this hit you hardest, and subscribe, because next time we're going somewhere even stranger. See you in the next one.